Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas to you all. Surprise, surprise, an upload today. We're not gonna let that stop us, are we? Though I suppose we will actually, because just to reiterate what we said on the previous episode, this is going to be the last episode for a week now. The following week I'm not going to be uploading anything because at the moment I am not anywhere near my PC to actually record this series. I'll be back to you on the next week in January with a new episode for you on the Monday, back to the normal schedule then. So just to recap, we have sunk some enemy cruisers and destroyers, escorting some merchant convoy shipping. So we're going to be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping they might just retreat straight away, having just lost their escorts, to delay them a little bit and give us some time to go back and rearm this particular task force here. If that's not the case, we do have our Tonne task force with a couple heavy cruisers and destroyers patrolling Guadalcanal more directly, and they will be able to pick up the slack and destroy those hopefully unescorted supply ships. So having said that, let's go to the strategic map and have a look at what we can do now. Okay, so we can see it is still very early in the morning now. So what we're going to do, not because of the time, but we are going to pull back and actually go to the Shortland Islands and rearm this fleet here, because we did expend quite a lot of ammunition across the board here. I did lose, I would say, far too many planes as well. We're going to get our Vals to return to base there. I'm going to check the fuel on the zeros. I'm going to keep them up, I think, while we can, and just expend their fuel. And let's the Shokaku service the Vals, and then we get some more zeros up to cover our retreat. What are we doing with the Tonne task force here? We are, of course, going around Guadalcanal here, which is brilliant stuff. I think we're fine here. The Tonne not looking great with some torpedo defense flooded. And some general stuff damaged, so we'll have a look at that when the time comes, but I think we can live with it for now. We're going to try and cycle to those zeros. They're from Guadalcanal, so we don't need to worry too much about them. And we are scouting around with I-15 and I-17, who only has 7 torpedoes left, so the next engagement will be its last until it has to rearm again. So what we're going to do is try and spot that carrier. We think it might be going back to the New Hebrides to rearm, because it did shoot down quite a few of its planes. If that's the case, that'll mean our retreat here is fairly safe. But you never know, you never know. I am tempted to actually think about getting a new submarine, either to screen constantly in this area for a carrier, or to go down by Port Moresby and Milne Bay here, because I do expect there is some sort of American activity down here, which might be why we are going quite a while without spotting any ships. That'd be nice to have some recon down there, but we'll think about it. Otherwise, I will see you in a minute when we make contact with the enemy, or something happens. So see you in a second. Alrighty then, I've decided not to show you, but we did just lose a Jake in this area around here to some Avengers torpedo bombers. So that might mean that, I don't know if they're retreating, but it looked like quite a full flight of them. So we are going to see if we can launch some zeros off of the Shokaku, which we have to wait some time for, unfortunately. So I'm going to see if we can launch some from Guadalcanal. We do have to wait some more time as well for that. So this is not really looking good, is it? I'm going to try and determine where we lost that Jake to. I think it was no, it's not the I-15s, okay. It might have been the I-17s, possibly. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, so it's probably from a Tonne, I believe. So all we can do is carry on, and we'll see what happens, I suppose. Wait for the Shokaku's ready to launch aircraft, so we're going to do that immediately. We're going to get some zeros off and go over here. We still called it a Ryuja task force, which is a bit weird. We're going to return to base with this Jake, who's not really doing much. This one can scout around down here and see if it can find that carrier. I suspect it's in this sort of area somewhere. And we have, of course, sighted another merchant convoy. 6 merchant ships, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, 2 destroyers. Not a lot we can do about that just yet, but it's something to keep an eye on. So we'll come back in a minute, I think. Actually, we'll move I-17 up maybe to intercept that. And just a few hours later, I decided to launch some Kates at the sighted convoy, just to slow them down a bit and to get some hits in, and of course to see what they actually have as an escort. So we're going to have a look here. It appears they have a County, interesting, and an Atlanta. Okay, interesting. So an Atlanta, like I said in a previous episode, is covered in these 127-meter double-barreled dual-purpose guns, which means that has a lot of flak on them. It's very dangerous for our planes here. So I think we're going to try and go for the back ships. Go for their supply convoy, of course, the supply ships rather. We're going to go for, I think, the number 7 with this slot. So we're going to pause just to take the time to form up properly. We're going to go for the lovely box. I've been loving that recently. They're going to come down as such, like this. Yeah, that's looking good. This one is going to do the same. It's going to form up in a box like that. And it's going to actually come round, come down like this, and it's going to go for number 8. It's going to increase its speed to give it be a bit better at coming around and being a good, well, getting a better timing with in sync with the other squad of Kates. I do apologise, I can't speak today. And this next one I think we're going to try for number 10 here, I think. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go for number 7 again. See what happens. I think. Going to go like this. Come down. And down like that. We did tell them to form up in a box, didn't we? Excellent stuff. Now, we'll see when we're in range with that. Which is now. We are going to have to try and be very careful with our positioning here, because we are not quite in time with everyone. We're going to tell this lot to come straight over, and the enemy is taking very evasive manoeuvres here. We're going to have to try and sort that out a little bit. So it means we're going to have to go in range, a better angle for their AA, of course. That's going to be tough. Going to be tough. That Atlanta is not to be trifled with. It's absolutely a threat for us. The number 7 we're targeting is just here. I think we're still going to go for it. Going to reduce speed with this squad very quickly, so that we don't forget about that. The ship we're targeting is just here, so I think we're actually going to come out a bit. Calm down like that. I do apologise if you're hearing a notification in the background there. That may have been very loud. Actually, I think just because we've got a very nice angle on it, we're going to go for the County here. Just going to double check that's what we're targeting there, which it is. We're going to go for the County and trying to hit that. I doubt we'll sink it, but I do want to hit it. Just because it's annoying me. It's literally the only reason. I'll bring these up and see what happens in reserve there. And we're going to watch this squad very quickly. I think that's going to be fine as it is there. How are we doing here? Yeah, that County's looking very susceptible there. We just need to make sure we get our torpedoes off. I would love that before we lose anything, because we are going to lose Kates here. There's so much flak and small arms coming off there, but we have dropped. And this over here can actually change its course directly now. Turn straight over. And we're going to watch this squad, of course, as well. Still aiming for the number 7 over here, I think. Those torpedoes looking good. You can very faintly see the streams there. I think we're going to tell these to attack now. And see what happens. And excellent stuff that did. The county did take all 4 torpedoes from that attack, which is excellent stuff, which I think is best than we can say from here. We've lost a kit, we've lost 3 kits. Oh my god, no. Not great stuff at all, but we do need to go over. We can't mourn the losses just yet. We need to take control of this immediately and see what's going on with this group. The number 8 is this one. We're going to tell them to attack now, and that should get a nice leading shot off. I would love for everyone to have attacked at once, but it can be rather difficult to pull off. Hopefully those 4 hits will mean a sunk county though. That's, oh, 1 hit, 2 hits on the escort. Not the escort. Why do I keep calling them escorts, ladies and gentlemen? Should know better than this. We have dropped here though. So that's 2 hits on the number 8 there. Excellent stuff. We're losing these, losing Kates galore. But it's not a problem. We are sending Shokaku back to resupply anyway. And it looks like we've only got 3 torpedoes off here. We see a massive gap over here. So I doubt this is going to get sunk at all. Yeah, it's a real shame. That is a shame. But it might hit the county again actually with this stray torpedo. So I'll be happy with that. This one's just narrowly avoided being hit as well. What's that? Number 7. This one's sinking. Brilliant stuff. County, how you're looking. You're listing heavily. I'm going to order a retreat. We lost so many Kates there. Far too many. But like I say, the Shokaku is going to rearm anyway. Yeah. So it's not too much of a bother. This is definitely going to get hit by another torpedo. This is done for. I think actually that was a good call to go for the county. It does make this task force easier to hit later on if this does get sunk. There we go. That's got to go down. You know, I was waiting for those to be duds. But yeah, it's been struck by multiple torpedoes, 6 in total from both sides, and it is going down. Excellent stuff there. That will give some nice command points, surely. It does make this much easier surface engagement if it does come to that. So I'm actually quite happy with that. We sunk not an escort, a supply ship. We did actually destroy an escort ship here in the form of the county. So we're going to go over straight away and leave. Look at the report there. The 8 is on heavy damage. We did take 10 command points from that, which is brilliant stuff. So we're going to tell them to return to base immediately, and I'll join you in a minute. Maybe we can get the I-17 up to intercept them. But to see you in a second, I think. Okay, so this is interesting. I was just in position to launch an attack with the I-17 on that task force we just hit with the Kates, and it came up saying you got an engagement. So I thought, all right, I'll go to that. That must be for the submarine. No, it's absolutely not. We're wrong there. This is to defend ourselves against. We can see one submarine just there. Possibly another one there. So this is going to be interesting. Very dangerous. Very almost as bad as the time we got hit by aircraft with a supply convoy. So we're going to brake and just reverse with everything to start with, I think. And we're going to take extra care to see what happens here. There's nothing we can do about this other than just dodge, you know? That good old tactic, just dodge. It does look like it's just the one strike so far. So we'll see what happens. I may just fast forward this a little bit because it's not really very active. Does look like we're going to avoid this. This is the thing though, if you know what you're doing, it is just as simple as reversing sometimes, but it's only because it's simple enough because we only have one submarine to think about. We can see it's already retreating. If you look very closely, you might be able to see the shadow of it in the water there just turning off. So we know they're not going to fire again. So not the most exciting thing, but you know, it's a report for you. So I'll see you back on the map again and see what happens about that. We really should start escorting these with destroyers, shouldn't we? That would be so much safer. So, what I was originally on about was actually, we're going to actually, before we start that, we're going to bring the Tornado Task Force directly to cover this in case we get re-engaged by that submarine. But yeah, what I was on about was actually, we're nearly in range with our I-17 here to hit this task force. We're going to get a little bit closer, like that, and go straight into tactical. And this is a very nice time of day to attack, if you ask me. It's very clear. Ideal, and we're very close to them, so what we're going to do is double check exactly how we're facing them. Okay, so we're off like that. We're going to turn very hard to starboard there and get our speed up. We're going to up scope, and I'd be very tempted to hit the Atlanta here. Very tempted to hit the Atlanta. But I think what we're going to do is actually go for a supply ship. Be a little bit boring. Yeah, go for a supply ship. We're going to go for this one. We do, of course, need to make sure we identify it for that sweet, sweet firing solution. Please let me know if you think making these strategically sound decisions is what we want to see, or actually being slightly more daring and going for the tactical threats here of the armed ships. From my point of view, the bigger picture must be considered, and protecting Guadalcanal is of the utmost priority. But to make surface engagements easier, it would be best to get rid of these cruisers when we have a chance like this. But otherwise, you know, it's difficult to tell sometimes what the best decision really is. I'd like to hear your opinions on that, because different people play in different ways and have different tactics they like to use. But anyway, I'll leave you with that to think about, and I'll see you back once we have fired and got possibly a hit. We do have decent solutions, so I'll see you in a second. And that was a very disappointing strike. That is very much a shame. Torpedoes, we're going to miss a secondary hit here. The reason for this, I think, is because it looks like we have been detected. The destroyers are coming in. I think this is because we're very close, and I ordered a retreat to turn around and go back. Maybe it would have been best to actually sit still and not retreat like this and dive. So the aim of the game here is to survive until the retreat timer goes down. I think it should be fine. What we're going to do is go for reduce our speed and go to silent now, I think, if that's okay. Just not move at all. And hopefully that will throw off their sonar a bit. But that is very unfortunate. That's especially because we now only have 4 torpedoes available. So what we might do is try and either re-engage that or go for the retreating supply convoy where we destroyed their escort in the previous episode with this I-17. That is very much a shame there. That is very disappointing. I'm sorry to have let you all down. The destroyers here, though, is another Marne and another Summers. I want to check exactly what we have here, according to what we have sunk, rather. So we've sunk 3 out of 18 Marnes, so not really dented them at all. How many Summers do they have? They have 5. We have sunk 1, so that's something. But yeah, okay. Well, I will see you again back on the strategic map. I think it looks like they've lost us now, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, so that is a shame, but we can see the retreating units over here, so we're going to go for them, and then we're going to resupply our I-17 here. And we're going to bring the I-15 up, I think, to try and intercept that again. Brilliant stuff. Let's see here then how this goes. I'll see you in a second. Alrighty then, so we have found contact with the retreating enemy over here, and they cannot do anything to us other than try and dodge. So hopefully they don't do that. So we're going to treat this as a masterclass, of course, for hitting enemy ships. What you need to do is, of course, turn around, get a nice flat broadside, and wait patiently. We can see here the angle is almost pretty much perpendicular to hitting the enemy ships here. So what we're going to do is stop our turn and halt our engines and focus on building a solution. We're going to fire all of our remaining torpedoes. We have 4, so I'm just going to bring that down a little and fire, say, 1 degree spread. I want to explain why I go for 1 degrees rather than 4. 4 rather? 1 degrees rather than the usual 2. 4 would be excessive. If you fire a lot of torpedoes at once with a greater degree spread, that will obvious. It does sound very obvious, but for those that maybe not don't know, the spread will increase so dramatically that I find that you will hit with, of course, less torpedoes. So the payoff for that is that, of course, like I just said, a wider spread, but you might hit more ships that aren't your target. I think this is a decent position here, actually. We're going to compress time just a little bit so they're a little more perpendicular towards us. You can see our solution dipping between 88 and 90, but I think that's what the maximum is going to be. So we are going to fire now, I think, with all of what we have. No need to move, no need to do anything. This fleet can't hurt us. They do not have sonar and they do not have depth charges. The ideal target for a submarine to hit. Which is brilliant stuff, you know. But we have found that the unfortunate side effects sometimes, if you do get the perfect strike with perhaps a 1 degree or even a 0 degree spread of torpedoes, it is possible to do such a thing. Is that with larger ships such as battleships and such, you do tend to hit them in one particular area of them, meaning which you damage only a certain group of compartments on them, be it the rudder, general engineering, or something on the bow perhaps. When that happens, you have of course inflicted a very specific part of the ship which saturates the damage on it, and you do, I believe, need to hit a certain spread of compartments to ensure that you sink a ship in this game. Please let me know if I'm babbling in the comments. Please let me know if this does make sense. So the idea really is to spread out the damage on ships with torpedoes so that you cause maximum possible destruction and ensure the ship does fail. If you hit perhaps the same point on the bow, which has perhaps nothing on it, if we can show here, if we were to pretend this is a battleship and we have some hits to our empty general compartments there, that we can sort that out. That's fine. We can live with that. But if we take a hit to the propeller, the engineering, and then maybe some empty compartments, that will be far more damage than just hitting 3 different empty compartments there. But so I'll leave you with that, and we can watch the destruction of this ship. Alrighty then, so we might not actually sink this ship. It is on massive fires, and the list is fairly substantial. There we go, just as I was saying, it is sunk. Excellent stuff. So this is what I was saying. Sometimes you can get away with hitting ships with 2 torpedoes when they're supply ships. Sometimes you definitely need 3. That's because we got away with it this time because we got some very lucky hits. We got the bows here where everything's concentrated, and the stern where likely things are concentrated. If we'd have hit both of those in one area, that might not have sunk, but we caused a lot of damage to that, and there we go. It is sunk with only 2 torpedo hits. We did get a dud, which is very sad. It did make me worry, but we can of course retreat now, and I will see you on the map. Okay, with all that being done, we have run out of torpedoes with the I-17, so we're going to go back to the Shortland Islands and resupply. We're going to keep a Tonne task force on Guadalcanal just to make sure the landing here is safe. We have nearly sorted out the invasion here. But yeah, let's sort that one out a second, and we should be able to drop off our supplies. We'll just come a little bit closer to ensure that, if we can. That'd be great stuff. There we go. Nothing else has been spotted. We're very close to the Shortland Islands with Ryujo. Ryujo, the Shokaku. That's yeah, 114 kilometers away. So what we're going to do is unload all cargo, like this. There we go. How does that put us with engineering and fuel? We have quite a lot now. Excellent stuff. So we're going to upgrade our airfield, like that. And we will need to wait, I think, unfortunately, just 2 more weeks to get that to a level 3, which is very sad. If we look at the rules here, a level 3 airfield will mean that we can get a flight of 8 zeros off, which is brilliant stuff. That will mean that we get far more considerable cap and air cover over our island here. The dream being an airfield level of 5, so we can get some Bettys off. That would be brilliant stuff. Can we look at the endurance of Bettys actually? How far would they get? We can't launch at this time because it's too dark. Fair enough. I'll see you back in a second. Retreat back to Ribble and see what to do then. In the meantime, see you in a second. Hello, you join me in the dead of night. 11 minutes past 11 in the evening. And we have come into contact with I-15 with the Atlanta escorted supply ships over here. As we can see behind us. This does mean we are going to have to rotate round. Just going to spot them on the map very quickly, if that's going to happen. There we go. So we're going to turn to starboard like that. What is the range we have here? We have a range of 3.7 kilometers. So if we listen closely, don't think we can hear their sonar pings going off, which is excellent stuff. So we're going to turn around. We're going to double check how many torpedoes we have available. We do have a full payload of 17, so we're going to fire off, I think, 3. That's a 1 degree spread. We're going to, of course, identify this, as we always do. We're going to change that because for some reason this goes off the picture rather than what we have in the text boxes. And join again when we fire, and this time, hopefully, we won't get detected. And again, we've not had great luck at all firing torpedoes off with our submarines now, have we? I'm going to blame this. I'm going to blame it. Our solution was dipping between 55 and 60 when we fired, and that is because it is very dark. It's literally that. It's so dark we can't see what's going on, and the torpedoes are going to sail very safely between everyone there. Rather a shame again. We could go for a second strike if we wanted to. We do have 2 torpedoes in the tubes ready to fire, which is what we might... Nah, there's no point. I don't think there's any point doing that. We'll just try and re-engage them later on. A letdown, really, by all accounts. I like how they must have spotted the torpedo, just thought, nah, it'll be alright, we'll just sail straight on. They're mugging us off now. It's really pissed me off. So that's rather unfortunate. I do apologise. So I'll see you back on the map again, and we'll try our luck again later on. Alright then, so what we're going to do is try and follow that line and go up towards Guadalcanal. We can now rearm our task force over here, and we are of course going to bring them... I think we're going to bring them straight over to Guadalcanal. I don't think we'll be in time to intercept anything if we go down here, so we're just going to guard it and keep a lovely surprise of battleships and aircraft carriers waiting for them there. So I'll see you back in a second when something happens again. Okay, so we have a situation report for you here. You can see we're going to start with the very basic stuff. We're going to increase our threat level as we go through this strategic report. We have spotted a new supply convoy here. 6 merchant ships, very standard, but 2 light cruisers and 2 destroyers. They're quite a way off, not in range of anything yet, so we can not forget about them, but put them to one side for now. So let's carry on up to Guadalcanal, shall we? We have these Atlanta escorted group that we've just disengaged with our submarine. We have overshot it, so what we're going to do is bring the I-15 down to intercept that. And we have got some Guadalcanal airfield-based VALs to hit that, maybe slow them down if we can. That's just a group of 4, so not necessarily expecting to sink anything here, but I think the plan there is actually to level bomb with them rather than dive bomb. We might decide to hit the Atlanta with that. We might decide to hit some supply ships, which I think would be the better choice there. But you can't see them now. But we have launched some zeros. Oh, we can see these, of course. We have launched some zeros over our task force here as some cap, because what you cannot see is that we did just get sighted by some enemy fighters, which is very worrying. I don't think that's from the Renal Island, because it doesn't say we have a airfield established there. That must be from the carrier that's been watching us for the past few days now. I have told Tonne Task Force to go back to Rabaul. Looking at the damage to the Tonne here, I don't want to live with that, I'm afraid. I want to replace that if we can, which is very sad. And the Makigumo here is taking magazine damage, which we absolutely don't want to live with at all. The Yugumo, I think we can live with that, but we might send that back as well. So that's going to be inactive for a while. Let's just review our repair state. We have 6 days for a Mogami to come back, but still have quite a while to wait for everything else, really. Which is very sad, very, very sad. We do have 2 Mogamis and a Takao in that. It's really hindering our power at the moment. So what we're going to do is ignore that and go with these VALs over here. It goes to tactical. We are being spotted now by some Kingfishers. We're going to go over here. There we are. What we're going to do is, like I said, increase our altitude to about that. We're going to go for let's go for a box formation. Try that. And yeah, we can see them, of course, over here. What we're going to do is use some time to increase our altitude and come over them like this. Excellent stuff there. And I'll join you back when we've decided what to do with this. Okay, so what we have decided to do here is actually go for a supply ship. So we've told them to attack. I think we're going to circle round is what they're doing to actually... looks like we're losing altitude here. Let's increase it to maximum then. And tell them to cease that and actually go up here. Maybe we can increase our altitude like that. Come on, guys, I don't want you to dive down. I want to level bomb and hopefully not take any losses from this. But they're still diving. There we go. Let's reissue the order and climb back up. Okay, so it would appear that we have actually we're not actually allowed to level bomb them. So what we're going to do is come back to you in a second when we have repositioned and actually just get what would that be? A starboard side perpendicular attack off and dive onto them, which is a shame here. Jet reports new aircraft bearing. Okay, interesting. It's very interesting there. Okay, what we're going to do, yeah, we have dived down with this. That's okay, because our I-15 is in the area here. Interesting that their Wildcats are so close. We didn't see them on the strategic map. It looked like they were going off. We have lost Jake because of that now. So we're going to get them to leave the area, if we can. Going to get them to increase their speed. I'm not liking this. So our VALs are ever closer. Just not my day, is it? Didn't even get our bombs off. Oh, no. Oh my god, this is really disappointing. It's not a major bother that we lost them because they will resupply over the course of a day or so over here. But what's the point? What is the point? This is really frustrating. This is going to come down to a surface engagement, which is fine. It'll ensure their death. But oh, Christ alive, where's our luck today, guys? It's because it's bloody Christmas Day, isn't it? It's just a horrible time of year. Hate it, you know. I don't never celebrate it. Deary me, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so joining back, and a little bit of game time has passed. We are dangerously close, actually, to this task force here. With the wrong heading, we're facing the wrong way. So this could be very interesting. If this goes wrong, we could lose the I-15 here. Might want to reduce our speed to make sure we are not so loud. And we are, of course, going to turn to attack with our scope up, I think. Let's see how this goes. We fast forward here. I'm getting slightly tired of this. I'm sure you are too. This is ridiculous. Just slow our speed down. Don't want our engine to make a lot of noise. I don't know why we haven't spotted them yet. That's ridiculous. Sea state's not great. So what is the distance here? Because we're right on top of them. Yeah, that is not good. It's just sub 3 kilometers, and that's only because yeah, we're going to be even closer when we fire. This is not necessarily a good idea here. So what we're going to do is actually reverse and stop turning and hope that does something for us. I really don't think it is. What have we targeted here? Okay. Let's identify at least. Like this. Try and build up a solution. We do have a good solution. But I do want a little bit more distance between us at the moment. That is so close there. It's ridiculously close. I bet they spot us in a second. They're going to have to. Yeah, one of them is peeling off or turning weirdly at the back there, so they might spot us. We're going to stop moving now. Just decrease our engine sound completely. That is so close though. You know what, it's so close that it's tempting to fire off a full spread of 6 torpedoes and at one of the destroyers like this. And maybe hit that and maybe the Atlanta behind it. But unfortunately the strategic threat is greater. We're so close to just reclaiming Guadalcanal now. I want to make sure we get some of these ships down. But like I say, we're very close now, so I'll see you, join you again in the cool transition when we fire off these torpedoes. Well, bloody finally, we managed to hit something. I bet it doesn't bloody sink now. We are going to try, there we go, excellent stuff, it has sunk. We are going to try and dive and get out, I think. Or maybe just, no, but since we're moving anyway, we're going to try and retreat, I think. Come on, mate, you gonna move? It's not too close. Fuck it, we'll just move like that. And see what happens, I think, because these destroyers are moving as if they've spotted us. Let's see what happens there. But we did manage to cheese it and leave the combat zone before they got anywhere near us, so a little bit anticlimactic there. I am going to move the Congo and Shokaku force out just a little bit and patrol this strait here and see what happens with that, I think. And hopefully we'll intercept them, and that may be the end for today. So see you in a second. But just as I say that, looks like we have another submarine encounter. I'm just looking at the endurance left of these zeros. It's not looking great, so I'm going to launch some more and just have them hovering around in case we get hit by some something horrible in the meantime. So we're going to have quite a lot of zeros in the engagement zone here. But we're going to turn off Fire at will. We're going to turn on radars and sonars and see what happens here. We have a lot of ships here to make sure dodge out the way. This is going to be a submarine engagement, I believe. There's no sign of anything on the map. Well, you never know. I can't see anything. So what we're going to do is reduce our speeds down to 10 kilometers just to get the ball rolling there. How are we doing? How are we doing? Because of course evading just as the torpedoes are spotted is always too late. There we go. Right, there's to our port. Brilliant stuff. Well, not brilliant stuff. It's never brilliant. We're going to reverse with all our main ships. This is going to actually... This is going to be the hunting destroyer. The Naganami is going to hunt. So we're going to take manual control of that in a second. We're going to break with Shokaku, full on reverse. Same with Congo. Reverse. It's not going to hit us here, so I think what we're going to do is actually just stop with the Fubiki. And that will let its sonar work better. Hibiki, where are you? That might just hit us there, you never know. I think we're going to stop for the moment though. Let the sonar work there. And the Myoko can full on reverse as well. And we're going to take, like I say, full control over here. We're going to go at 13 knots. Should be okay, I think. They're going to go this sort of beam here. So it might actually wants to, yeah, we're going to want to increase speed with the Fubiki there and make sure it dodges. Gets a bit of a turn off as well, I think. Just to change the angle there. That should be okay. Yeah, we'll be alright like that. We're going to increase the turn a little bit over here. Fubiki's not looking so bad now. I think we are going to increase its speed just a little bit. It's going to throw the rest of our sonars off. But I think it's worth it to make sure we don't get hit for now. We are going to tell everyone else to just stop because it looks like they have clearly missed us. We want to make sure we don't hit ourselves with any of our ships. Because that's happened before. There we go. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, the Hibiki's not moving anyway. Cool. So, Naganami, you might have turned a little too much there. Let's turn it back again. And the Fubiki is doing fine there, so that's going to stop and just use its sonar to spot, I think. Well, more disappointing news for you. We did not actually manage to spot that submarine at all. Seems to have got away, so we are going to have to look out for that in the coming hours. Still waiting for this enemy convoy to have a look at Guadalcanal though. Which I think, okay, there it is, we can see it. We're going to go straight for it, I think, with our task force here. No holds barred, go straight for it. Get this surface engagement, the decisive battle we've been looking for. We are going to launch some Kates, I believe, once we get in range. Which is now, of course. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so before we launch, we are going to say launch some Kates if possible from Shokaku, which it is possible. Brilliant. We're going to launch, obviously, them with torpedoes and begin the engagement. Brilliant stuff. Let's turn off fire at will, because this is horrible. Turn on radars as well. Excellent. So, where the bloody hell are they? Let's get a squad of zeros to spot them. They should just be down here though. Let's increase our speed like that, and I think our altitude to make sure we're not so susceptible to anti-aircraft fire. We can get the rest of the zeros just to have a look around here, I think. Reduce our speeds, give us a bit of cover, and make sure they don't come into contact with enemy AA. Like that. Excellent stuff. Alrighty then, so joining me a few minutes in real time later on in the battle, where we have positioned our Kates to hit a certain amount of supply ships. That's going to be to try and slow them down, or of course sink a few of them. We've got a few of them going over here. I don't think actually we're going to get this one to go for the number 7 here. Might be a bit easier because that's the rearmost one that will keep us out of the way of the Atlanta. This one is probably going to have to go straight over the Atlanta, and I think go for actually number 5 like that. It's going to go straight over for it like that. This one is going to try and go for the number 4, which is going to be the one of the more difficult ones. It's going to go over both destroyers and very close to the Atlanta there. But it's going to be attacking right now. And see what we can do about this. Want to get this lined up so we can soften up a few targets and slow them down. We do have our surface fleet targeting certain ships with patterns on hold. Just while we can get a fire off once we've seen the results of our air attacks here. I'm going to tell this one actually to just change its course a little bit, come over like this, I think. This one can come over as well, just it's going to spend some more time in the AA unfortunately, but does need to go around to get a decent strike off. And hopefully this will be okay. We've lost a Kate, oh, that's very sad. Which case is that actually? Where was that? It's right over here. Who's missing one then? Oh, it's this squad here. Of course it is. Of course it is. One that's not even trying to attack yet. Arseholes, really? Complete arseholes. So increase speed, guess up, and we're going to change their course. They guess out like this, I think. That would be brilliant. How are the torpedoes looking over there? They might just hit. We did guess all 4 off. Okay. How are we going? Losing more Kates on the retreat there. Little shits. Honestly. I think what we're targeting here is this one we're looking for, isn't it? This is the already damaged one. So we're going to tell the target that, and I think we're in a decent position to attack there. Like that. There we go. Choosing the wrong one there. And I think we're okay in a decent position to attack from here as well. Brilliant stuff. Gonna get us a couple hits here at least, I think. There we go. 1, might be 3. Go on. Ah, it's just slid under there, unfortunately. Hope we're going to get enough compartmental damage there, but it will at least slow it down to a halt so it can't retreat so easily. How are we looking over here? That's looking like a decent lead there. Who is leading this squad here? So this one, they're going to increase speed, guess out. They're going to turn around like this. Guess out like that. Are these dropping? Just about, nearly there. And then our surface fleet can engage them. They are getting some smoke screens off though, which is rather a shame. That is going to throw us off. Going to change our altitude and speed here and turn off immediately like this and just get out of range there, I think. Brilliant stuff. How are we looking then? How are we looking? Going to get just the 1 here, I think. That was quite a horrible angle. Okay, we're going to get 2. That might do it. That's destroyed its rudder and propellers though, so if it doesn't kill it, again, it's sat in the water for us. This is looking promising though. Might get 3 here. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant stuff. That's got to be downed. This one, yeah, so number 4 is sinking. Number 5 is sinking. Excellent stuff. So that is in very quick succession. Very nice stuff. I was not expecting this one to go down, actually. Did only get 2 hits there, which means this one should be quite likely to go down. Its speed is 0 now, so it won't get away from this battle. It's the number 7, isn't it? Yeah, critical damage, critical flooding. That's got to go down as well. So, what is the distance with Fibiki and Summers? It is 15.9 kilometers. So I think we can start firing up with our Congo, perhaps. It's the AI again seems to think that it can do whatever it wants. With our formations, so we're going to get back into circle and form up like that, and they are firing on us, so we are going to start firing by ourselves now. Just double checking the range of us here. Let's have a look. Yeah, we should definitely be in range, so let's start firing, getting some spotting shots off. Do that with everything, get some narrows off like that. Brilliant stuff. Oh, I love to see it. I'll join you again once we've got these off, I think. We're not going to fire with the Shokan. We're going to save our ammo for air engagements there, I think. So that was a decent strike. So that's got rid of the majority of the threat there. we do still have this one cargo ship here. It does look like they're retreating with their offensive ships. So it might be worth trying to keep our zeros in play and actually trying to where's our other squad of zeros? Oh, they've left the zone. That's very nice. It might be worth trying to actually strafe down this remaining ship here, because of course the aggressing ships, the offensive ones. Oh, we got a lovely hit. That was just in time on the Atlanta there. That was right, I think, right in its engine rooms perhaps. That might slow it down quite a bit. Congo's firing at that, isn't it? What's its speed going to? It's still 20. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh, of course, we need to fire up with our secondary, so we're going to do that. That's the wrong one. Let's get those going, because those are going to help. Miyoko's got a lovely, lovely firing solution on the Summers, so we're going to keep on that. We do, of course, need the zeros over here to actually stay and keep spotting the enemy here. But, yeah, that Atlanta's taking some decent damage. That's a decent list on it. How's Congo's solution looking? Not the best still, not the best. Do need to get some spotting shots off still. But if you wanted, we could strafe the remaining supply ship, I think, which is what we're going to do, I believe. Okay, so I think now it's looking like the surface fleet over here might be actually retreating fairly easily. What we're going to do is tell everyone to actually, well, actually, keep the Congo firing at the Atlanta here, see what happens. It's got a decent solution there. So we're actually going to take that and tell it to keep firing there. But we're going to get the Chikuma to stop firing there. And we have noticed that the supply ship over here has stopped pretty much in the water, so we're going to get a manual shot off as we always do, and get it to fire over here if we can. We're going to get it to hold, I think, first, just to get the guns turned around and reloaded. We're going to do the same with Miyoko actually. That's actually going to fire over here and hold to get the guns firing or turn around over there. The speed of the enemy is only 7 knots, so you don't need to lead too much. You're going to fire like that. Why is the guns not firing? Okay, it's just a strange angle for it. Interesting. Yeah, we're going to tell the Chikuma to fire as well on it like that. It is taking some hits from our destroyers, which have also been put on manual fire. So we should be seeing it going down very soon there. Just going to make sure it's targeting like that. There we go. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, the speed is basically nothing now. At 6 knots, it's not moving at all. A submarine could outrun it. But I think what we're going to do is sink this and maybe leave the engagement area, see what happens with the rest of the task force. But this is a major strategic threat down now once we've got rid of this. We can mop up the rest of the task force later with aircraft or something perhaps. Now I'm just going to readjust our shots here. Miyoko was also going to fire at it, wasn't it? So we're going to go like that. I'm going to re-establish fires with this. And I'll see you, I think, at the end of the engagement, which is here. So we did finally manage to sink these supply ships there, which was the major priority. We did unfortunately lose a few aircraft there. Not quite as many as I thought. But we are going to tell our Kates to return home, if we can find them there. Return to base immediately. How many zeros do we still have in the air? We've got 10. That's fine. But I think that's going to do it today, folks. It's dragged on a little bit. We've got a fair few things done. We did stop a potential re-invasion of Guadalcanal coming in. So I hope you have an amazing Christmas. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode. I very much appreciate it. I'd like to hear again if you have a little bit more time with you to hear your feedback in the comments below. And if you are enjoying it, please do subscribe. It really gives you motivation. So in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I've been Edified Gamer, and have a great Christmas. See you later.